Right now, the average cold email gets a reply about 3 out of every 100 times. LinkedIn connection requests are down over a third in the last year alone. And even when people do manage to publish content, trust in it is sliding too. Because AI made content so cheap to produce that every feed is now flooded with posts that all sound the same. AI didn't just make content cheaper, it made sameness infinite. And once everyone can publish the same advice, the only thing left that differentiates you is how sharply you understand one specific person and one specific problem. So if you are a marketer, someone grinding through cold outbound every day, a GTM engineer, or you run any kind of service business, and you feel like you are doing everything right, but clients still aren't showing up the way you expected, none of that is a coincidence, and none of it is really your fault. But there is one specific reason sitting underneath all three of those numbers that almost nobody is talking about. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that problem actually is, why it has gotten so much worse recently, and the one shift that fixes it for good. If you appreciate this type of content, gently tap that like button. Let's get into it. Here's the problem. If I asked you right now to describe your ideal client in one sentence, specific enough that a stranger could picture the exact person, could you do it? Most people can't. They will say something like, we help businesses grow, or we work with small business owners. And that sounds like an answer, but it's actually nothing. Because when you are for everyone, you are memorable to no one. And that one blurry sentence is quietly costing you every client who almost picked you but went with someone who felt like they were speaking directly to them instead. And it's not just content that's struggling because of this. It's exactly why cold email and LinkedIn outreach have been sliding too. It's not that people suddenly got worse at writing emails or DMs. It's that a total stranger has no real reason to trust a message that could have been copy-pasted to literally anyone. The channels didn't fail you. The lack of one clear, specific person on the other end of your message did. So why did this keep happening? First reason, narrowing down feels like losing money. If you say you only work with dental practices or only help SaaS founders under $2 million in revenue, your brain schemes that you are turning away everyone else. So you stay broad on purpose just in case. But here's what actually happens instead. Staying broad doesn't get you more clients. It gets you fewer because broad messaging doesn't speak to anyone specifically enough to make them stop scrolling. You didn't protect your options. You just made yourself forgettable to all of them at once. Second reason, and this one has gotten worse just recently, AI made it free and instant to produce content. So now every feed is packed with posts, videos, and emails that all say some version of the same thing in the same tone. Marketers have actually started calling this out. There is a name going around for it, the sea of sameness. And it's not just a vibe. People have genuinely started tuning it out. Consumer trust in generic AI style content has dropped by more than half in just the last couple of years, down to about 1 in 4 people now. So the exact strategy most people are leaning on harder right now, pumping out more generic content, is the same strategy that is losing trust the fastest. Being specific isn't a nice to have anymore. It's the only thing left that actually cuts through. Third reason, most people build their targeting around who is able to pay, not who they actually get the best results for. Those are not the same list. The clients who is technically able to afford you and the client who is the perfect fit for what you do are often two completely different people. And if your content and outreach are built for the first group, you will keep attracting people who are lukewarm at best because you never actually spoke to the second group at all. So here is the actual fix, and it's simpler than people expect. Stop building content that tries to reach everyone and build content that is so specific to one exact person that it filters people on site. If the wrong person watches it, they should know within the first 10 seconds it wasn't made for them. That's not a flaw, that's the entire point. Content built this way does something outreach never could. It doesn't chase the market. It lets the right people select themselves, already warmed up, already convinced you understand their exact problem before you have ever said a word to them directly. Quick break. This is exactly what we help people do. Take a business that cannot clearly name its ideal client and build organic content that targets that one person so precisely it turns into real booked calls. If that's you, book a free call with me. Link is in the description and the pinned comment below. Here's what that looks like in practice. Clients I've worked with in commercial production see 5 to 6 highly targeted intro calls a month once their content is actually built around one clear ideal client instead of a big, broad pitch. Clients we have worked with in SaaS have also seen better qualified inbound when the content stops talking to founders and starts speaking to one exact stage, problem, and trigger point. Same amount of content, same amount of effort, but suddenly it's landing with the right people instead of getting scored past by everyone. So if you are doing the work, putting out content, sending out leads, and clients still aren't showing up the way you expected, stop asking what channel to use next. Start asking if you can actually describe in one sentence exactly who you are for. And if you want to see exactly how to build that one sentence into a full content strategy, I made a video on exactly that. You can check it out by clicking right here.